So normally I don't do this, but I think it's really important that when something comes to you, when you feel like something is important that you need to speak about and help others with, that you really, you really should take advantage of it. You know, the other morning I woke up and I was extremely frustrated and I didn't really understand why. You know, as human beings, we want things to go the way we want them to go. And when things kind of fall apart or don't evolve the way we want, it's very easy to let frustration sink in. If you've been working on a project or something in your life that you've been trying to manifest and it just hasn't happened yet, it's easy to say, you know what, what's the point? And try to call it quits, or even just try to jump on as many YouTube videos as you possibly can, or jump into as many books trying to find answers of what am I doing wrong? What do I need to do in order to create what I want to happen? Sometimes you also realize the fact that you're no longer even looking to God because your prayers aren't being answered. And so the frustration kicks in and you kind of just start doing things in your own way and it just keeps getting worse. And the other morning I woke up and I realized I had fallen into a trap. I had fallen into a trap of realizing I had been trying to control things on my own. You know, and as much as I jump on and I do these videos, I'm still a human being, and things can still happen that get me frustrated and get me off track. And I think what's really important is recognizing that when you try to take control and you don't surrender, you know, when you don't allow faith and what you want in this life that, you know, you've asked God to provide to you, and you try to take control of it, things start falling apart. I realized that I did that. I realized that things hadn't happened at the pace that I wanted them to, and I tried to take control over, and things became even worse. So I think what's really important is that you identify this. And if you can identify, why aren't things happening in my life the way I want them to? Why is it that I feel the need to take control? It's that old you talking. It's that old you. It's the version of you that feels like you need evidence on the outside to tell you that everything is going to start working the way you want it to. And the more you start looking for evidence in the physical world, you're not going to find it. It's not going to be there, because the evidence is internal. The evidence is how you feel. The evidence is what you do as your identity, as who you need to be in order to create the life that you want, and have the faith that what you ask God for, He will provide. And I made that mistake, and it was a short-lived 72 hours that I had to come to that realization. And I had to say, you know what, I've realized what I am doing is trying to take control. I'm trying to work to make things happen when I don't need to be doing the work. I need to just have faith that what I desire, what I'm trying to create, is already available to me. I just need to be in the identity of the person to accept it. And sometimes that's so hard to do. Sometimes it's so hard to do, but it's so important. It's so important that you just have faith and you realize that you need to be the version of you that is available to accept the things that you want in this life. And letting go and detaching is probably the hardest thing when it comes to manifestation and prayer and having faith that we as humans have to deal with. But the more you try to hold on, the more you try to control, the more you try to force things to happen, you know, constantly thinking about what you want, constantly asking in prayer the same thing over and over. Like, I can't remember the verse, but it even says, like, you don't have to keep asking God over and over. Like, He knows what you want. He understands the desires of your heart. Have faith that what you want, He will provide. And I think it's the faith. I know it's the faith. I know it's the faith that everything is going to work out is when things really start to take place for you. So I think it's really important that I jumped on here and talked about this, because I had gone through it myself. And I had a period of the last 72 hours where a lot of things that I thought were going to happen did not happen, and it got so frustrating. I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why what am I missing here, you know? And I can be vulnerable. I don't mind jumping on here and, saying that, as much as I find things in this life and I do these videos because I'm passionate about them, I'm still just like you guys out there. I'm the same person. I'm just finding realizations in this life that are so vital that you gotta release, and you gotta stop trying to control. And what I realized is I need to ground myself again. So for you guys out there that need to kind of ground yourself, relinquish the control, get back to the faith and getting back into the identity of who you need to be in order to create the life that you want, have gratitude. Have gratitude for what you already have. That is the number one thing that I've noticed, is that when I get grounded back into being grateful for what I already have in this life, being so thankful for what has been provided to me, the little things. For me, it's my family, it's my pups, it's being at the beach. I mean, the beach is my getaway. I mean, this is where I feel like I am closest to God. Just being able to have the freedom to come down to the beach, listen to the waves, be in the sun, get some vitamin D, and just reset. And I'll tell you what, I already feel different. And I'll tell you what, just today, when I made the decision that I need to surrender, I need to get back in faith, things already started happening. Things already started working in a way, and it's incredible how quickly things can change when you change who you are trying to be. So don't be the person that's trying to maintain control. Stop trying to have control over everything, and just understand that you need to have faith, and the synchronicities will happen, and the things that you need will start coming to you, and you'll be well prepared for it. Things will happen when you least expect it. And I know this to be true because this is constantly happening in my life, which is why I think it's so important that I'm jumping on and doing these videos, because it's real. It's absolutely real. And who you are on the inside is what you will project and see on the outside. And it's so important that you don't conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Like it says in Romans, it's so important that you don't allow what's on the outside, what you see in this physical life, to influence who you know you need to be, who you know that you are. And just have faith and surrender. And find that spot to reset. For me, like I said, it's the beach, it's my family, it's walking the dogs, being in nature. Once I do that, and I just take away the noise and I have clarity, things start evolving in a way where the creativity, the mindset, being able to jump on a video because something just got downloaded to me that was so important that I needed to talk about, it starts happening. You can't be thinking about all the things you're worried about and be in a creative mindset to be able to share and do the things that you're so ultimately supposed to do, because you have too much clutter in your head. You got to release it. You got to let go. It's not worth it. Let go of the things you don't need to think about. Have faith that what you want is going to be provided to you, and stop trying to control. I can say that because it is the truth. I just went through it, and it's not worth it. Anyway, before the construction of this stuff starts getting in the way of this video and you guys can't hear him anymore, I hope this helps. Just have faith, let go of control, detach and surrender, and start creating the life that you want, because that's exactly what God wants for you.